Hello, hello. How's it going? This is Makana, and I'm doing a little reading for us. I'm starting with some clearing smudge, and this is a practice because this is part of my spiritual belief. I'm not trying to, you know, co-opt anybody's stuff. It's just like this is real for me. Okay, so this is beautiful, beautiful sage that grows in this area. Um, if you like incense and smudging, you can find stuff that grows near you, and that's considered to be the best medicine. I think I've mentioned this before, but I always like to share medicine secrets because Lord knows we need it right now. Okay, so we're gonna do a little reading, right? What medicine do you need? And this is gonna be a oracle and a tarot card reading. So pile number one. Ooh, this is the High Priestess, a very fortuitous medicine woman, I would say. Card number two, Restriction. And number three, we have Fire Fairy. Okay, beautiful. So, High Priestess, we're going to start with you. We're going to do a mixture of fairies and tarot. And I'm using Healing with the Fairies. And this is the first deck I ever received as a gift, so I always relate it with healing, and fairies give really good advice on these matters. Okay, High Priestess, stand your ground. Right? We have for you, High Priestess, your tarot cards. I would like to turn off this fan. It's automatic, so just pause that thought. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know if you can hear this, but I like to have minimal noise interruptions. All right, you have the Ace of Earth, okay? Earth is adjacent to Pentacles. You have the King of Fire reversed. Ooh. Fire is adjacent to the Wands. And last but not least, the Ace of Oceans. Wow. It's got a lot of the elemental balance coming into play here. Okay, I'm going to lay this out and just look at it for you here. Okay, beautiful. So, High Priestess, you have some potent work to do. Yes, do you not? And you may have noticed that animals and spirits and guides are showing up for you. In fact, there's even a portal. So, like, this is your channel, your access to divine wisdom. It's like literally always there, like a little portal follows you around, and you can access and think and feel and touch it. And when I say touch, I mean your spirit can. So find ways to touch it is my first what I'm initially getting from this, because she's like holding, you can see here, she's holding the flowers just as I was like holding the smudge. You're touching something, you're activating something. You can even see the smoke rising from the bowl here, okay? She's making her potion. And this is potent work because you're bringing in the physical, you're manifesting in the material what your vision, what your dream, what your intent is. And so to do this work is really about non-attachment. You're not trying to control. You're trying to offer instead a window into how to align with what the channel is you're receiving that's a pure channel. And so the first work is usually to purify your channel, okay, to have a sense of like a clear vessel. So you yeah, what I'm seeing for you is like with this big bowl here is that you have maybe been like filling up your vessel with things that don't really benefit you. Too much noise, too much toxic or processed foods or drinks, drugs perhaps, something that's making you off your center. It could be mental chatter, it could be thoughts and perceptions, judgments of others, a sense of how you have to perform, people pleasing, perfectionism, any yuck that gets in your brain and clogs things up and gets you out of your inner alignment. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is the moon, nice and full. So that's really gonna help guide you too. Like we're in a new moon cycle today. So happy new moon. I forgot to say that at the beginning. So as you're entering this new cycle, be really intentional. Okay, so this is your moment to clear, literally cleanse out all that yuck that's been building up. So today is about bare feet and looking at the moon and journaling random words. They don't need to make sense. It's not about trying to generate something. It's just about allowing the channel to come clear, okay? Like the water running clear. Or like when you're woman on your cycle, when your blood finally is clear running out of you, it's like, that sense of like relief, right? So what we're looking for is what's gonna nourish you and sustain you as you build into this next cycle, okay? And so this relates to the reading that we have here for you, stand your ground. So your boundaries, your sense of place. You can see here she's standing in front of, it's actually a mirror. We have an oval door and we have a square door, okay? 2 portals, okay? And so something's, it's like, what I'm getting here is like, it's almost like a mirror image here. Something's like almost wanting to hijack, like if someone came to hijack her portal, she would like step up with this like badass crystal wand, show her wings and be like, no. And in fact, there's actually a figure here like an angel. So call in your angels, call in your protective guides. If you work with the fairies, as I do, talk to them, go to the forest, okay, gather some beautiful flowers from your garden if you happen to live in a warm place, or just like bring an offering, like something. I like to bring something that maybe it's not something I want to throw away, but I don't know what to do with, but it's a small beautiful object that I feel like a fairy might appreciate, like a small little crystal that shard that broke, and I'm like, oh, what do I do with this now? Of some jewelry or something. You'll find a little hollow and a little log, and you place it there with a little offering, and you say, hey, this is for you, fairies. I know. This is just really a way to manifest what I was talking about. I don't know why do I feel embarrassed about this? Comment if you are feeling like I'm being too judgmental on myself right now, or if you're like, okay, that's really woo, lady. That's fine. It's all good. So the Ace of Earth, physical activity, somatic processing, okay? That's going to ground you and anchor you into where you need to be. The King of Fire, so this one came up reversed, and this one's like really about like understanding your potency, your energy, your what you're putting out into the world, your essence, and your campaign for life. So when you understand that, you're activated and you're in your potential. And when you're confused about that, then it kind of maybe comes out sideways. Like maybe you lose touch, or you get distracted, or you find yourself scrolling a lot on Instagram, or listening to music that even you don't really like. It's just noise because you just are used to filling, that empty space. So rather than try to fill up that emptiness, get curious and inquire into it, and you will start to align again with your purpose. And why are you doing that? Yes, I have a little dog friend who wants to say hello. Do you want to say hello? Say hi. Say hi. Yeah. Okay, it's not playtime just yet, okay? Playtime is 24/7 here. I don't know if you know that. Yeah. Ace of Oceans. Hello. So Ace of Oceans for High Priestess, this is going to be about getting in touch with what is in the depths of feeling, and really owning your mysterious nature, owning your manifesting nature, owning the part of you that longs to explore, and the part of you that maybe isn't understood by the world. So when the Stand Your Ground came up, that was what I was thinking of as well, was that sense that there are others out there who aren't getting you, and it's messing with your perception a little bit of yourself, and your self-perception should not be overlooked in these matters, because it's kind of about an access point for intentionality, and an access point for intentionality is potent doorway to manifestation, and we're talking about doorways here. So really hold that sense of self for yourself. Okay, stand your ground in that sense. This isn't about picking battles, waging war. This isn't even about needing to prove that you're right. This is about taking the necessary space just to align with what really is true in you, and reminding yourself of that, because you can't create without some kind of vacuum. Okay, you need some kind of expansive, quiet, solitude-like space in order to freely create. And this is also part of this card. Get outside, okay? Get clarity. Don't let the smoke cloud your vision, and you will dive deeper with greater clarity and with greater sustained air. You're going to have more to support you as you're building these deeper manifestations and calling in this bigger vision for what you want for your life and for the world. Like, you actually have, like with High Priestess energy, this is like big energy. You have an offering that is really important, really key here, really beautiful offering for the universe. So please don't overlook that. Please don't push that aside for anyone, anything. This is really your time to just focus in on you and take some self-care, and to claim that time, slate out and claim and own that space for yourself. Okay, that is your reading. I wish you so much blessing and a sense of just like a protective bubble. Like, I'm just seeing that around you. Yes, it's like a sacred shell, not really even like armor, but like a mountain has its like the rocks on the exterior. Like, find your rocks, okay? So and hold on to them, okay, like this wand here. Okay, thank you for tuning in, High Priestesses, and may your day be ever more blessed and clear and activated. And this is Restriction. This is your reading. Hello, Restricted One. I don't think you see yourself as a restricted one, but I think your thinking at times, you realize you get caught in certain loops. And it's like, is this the path that winds around and goes to that beautiful lookout where I get a great vista and I feel that fresh air? Or is this the one that winds over to the left to that kind of muddy path, and then kind of the path kind of meters out, and then I have to like circle back around and then get back on the path again? So if that is what's coming up for you, we're going to find some answers, okay? We're going to find some clarity, some way through. Okay, no, we don't beg. Come here, sillies. Puppy. Yes, come here. She's trying. Come here. All right. Be good. Thank you. Yeah, this has been a very interesting pet sit. I'm really glad to be here. There's a lot of big energy in this house. And yeah, doing this work requires a little bit of space. There isn't even a door on this room, so go figure. Moving forward fearlessly. Hello. This is good. This portents of good things for you, my dear Restriction. Okay, let's see what else we have coming up for you in your tarot cards. Whoop. Something wanted to pop out here. Okay, so we got 3 cards here. Oh, okay. The Ascended in reverse. Okay, this is a beautiful card about higher thinking, visions, dreams, making sense of your dreams. The Hermit, okay? This was also in reverse. Interesting. And the Ace of Fire. A lot of aces today. So there are aces in the last reading. So something is being torn down, it's like your fears are actually, you're like lighting them on fire. This is really awesome for you. Like you have been wanting to move in a good direction. You wanted to find that clear path, like I mentioned, and you feel like you're in the muck and the mire, but it's not. That couldn't be farther from the truth here. So, like, she has these little tiny guides, and she also has this angel cat, okay? And it's in reverse, so it's sort of like I'm taking this to mean that this is not evident in your visual experience, right? Like you're not getting that, you're almost getting um, like a different message from the the spiritual world and the material world. The material world will present certain information, and your ego will kind of use that to confirm and say like, well, that's just proof that, you know, this stuff doesn't work. But to your ego I say, don't be that monster in the dark. You don't have to be your own monster hiding under the bed, provoking your own fears and doubts and worries and concerns. You can actually be your own angel cat sitting on your shoulder, okay? So this is just to help decipher for you what messages there are, and your choice is to, you know, which to listen to. And I see this fire here as this is an old structure, something that was so ingrained in you, and you're finally shedding it. You're finally shredding it, like taking the pages, tearing them into little strips, and then taking those strips and tearing them again, and taking those little fragments and tearing them again, and then lighting them on fire and scattering the ashes. Like, this is how done with this pattern you are. Okay, this is how done with this behavior. Done. Okay, so you don't have to keep engaging with what has been harming you. You already are past it. You have to believe it. Come here. Come here. Yeah, you have to believe it. Yeah. And so when you're past what is still showing up, it's sort of like the feeling is that I'm never growing. I'm never getting past this. And what's actually happening is you're gaining awareness of it, okay? You hadn't had awareness before, and now you do. And now it's like a big old slap in the face, okay? It makes you want to run away. It makes you want to withhold and avoid and judge and react and do all those bad behaviors that actually would reinforce the pattern. But as you start to feel that arise in you, it feels worse and worse, okay? It feels yuckier and yuckier, and like this little swamp monster coming out here, okay? That's like the feeling. So you want to go in your cave, but it's still, you still feel like I'm not going to escape this, but you are. Okay, this is what's coming up in the cards. It's done. Okay, the cycle is done. You're laying it to rest. You're moving forward, and it's your fearlessness restriction. So restricted one, your restriction has been around fear. Like you've been held back by fear. You're literally letting fear call all the shots in your life up to this point, and now you're done. So like you're still perceiving that you're letting it call the shots, but what's happening now is that you're starting to surprise yourself, aren't you? And so I'd start a journal, and instead of writing down every mistake, every stupid thing you did or said, which, you know, as a person who likes to reflect, sometimes it has benefit. However, what I would say is more helpful to you is look at all the ways you're challenging fear. Look at all the ways you're pushing past prior restriction, okay? Any little action in your day that you took that was outside of your norm, okay, note that. Note that like crazy, highlight it, underline it, asterisk it, and hold yourself in it. And when you're showering, bathing, remind yourself, hey, I'm capable of this change because I did X, Y, Z. Okay, when you start your day, you're starting with a positive reconfirmation of the changes that you're creating, okay? And if you journal this day by day, you're actually going to start to see this transformation happen over time. And you're not going to see it in a matter of weeks. It's going to be much more clear in the span of, I'm going to say, 3 months. But it's happening on a daily, hourly, even minute by minute basis. Your brain is upgrading like mad right now. And so any substances, neurotropic substances, I see this tree here, branching out. There are new neural pathways, new connections, okay? So they want to be supported. Maybe they're not right now. So your way of supporting that is spiritual practices. I mentioned, guides and yeah, having positive support. This could be support through therapy, counseling group. But really what's going to support you is inside and outside, like doing that external work, doing that work in the world, but also doing work on your body with medicine. Okay. So finding the medicine you need. This is, yeah, actually that was the question we asked in the beginning, wasn't it? I kind of lost track of myself. You're finding your medicine. Amazing. So neurotropics and somatic support for the last reading. If you're listening, High Priestess, somatic support was yours. For restriction, I'm seeing that it's like your mind wants to expand and it's feeling restricted. So giving it those key nutrients, okay? And if you don't know what neurotropics are, just go to your nearest vitamin store, or medicinal or holistic healer. Ask them about brain support. What really supports my thinking, my cognition. You can look this up online. I love doing this kind of research because your brain matters, okay? Your brain's super important, and when you're firing it up, it's firing you up. And so supporting it with also adaptogens, plenty of water. I'm just getting that there's something in here. It's almost like, you see this tree stump here? It's like this tree looks like it's dead, like it stopped growing. It's like your brain, this is your brain feeling inside right now, like it's hit a wall, and it's that feeling of stagnation and not progression, but that's not the truth. See this beautiful tree here? The truth is your brain can grow and heal and repair itself at any age. This is new research, so don't buy into any story no matter what your age is here, because what we're finding is that there are many things that help our brains to expand and heal. And so that's my blessing for you. Support your brain, restricted one. It's wanting to revamp, restart, and as it does, so many things are changing for you. Not only those old patterns that have kept you stuck, but new emerging thoughts, creativity, visions, abundance. I'm seeing fruit on the street. This tree wants to bloom, she wants to flower, she wants to fruit, and she's a freaking rainbow, okay? So she's crawling out for your support. I'm just really emphasizing that. I was like, whoa, this brain wants to come online, okay? And I'm really just intuiting that it's your brain, because that's just what's coming to the channel. If this resonates in some other way or form for you, that honor what's true for you. And you don't have to make my message turn into something that's not true for you. Just decipher, because each person is going to take something a little bit different from each and every reading. Okay, that's your reading. Blessings to you on this day, my beautiful unrestricted one. We need to even your whole identity is about to have a revamp. So we'll check in with you. Actually, let's do one more. I feel like we really need one more card for you. Where are we? One more card. So this is coming through the other side, how we're going to see you in 3 months' time, okay? Okay, so from restriction to trust, okay? And I trust in you. So there you go. Beautiful. Have an amazing journey and trust your inner wisdom on this. That's your reading. And now we have Fire Fairy. Hello, Fire Fairies. So you are the spunky ones. You are creative. You're about action and optimism and putting your best self out there. Sometimes you do feel a little bit shy, like the conditions need to be right for you to emerge. And what we're seeing here is that they are coming, they are emerging, because we're seeing breaking free. Breaking free is all about expanding into a wider realm. And I have my little book here. There's some good messages in this book that sometimes just really ring true. So I think for this one, I want to read it out for you. Do you feel trapped in some area? Like there's a doggy here. Hey, come here. Oh my gosh. You're being such a brat. Come here. All right. Do you feel trapped in some life area? This card asks you to take a first step in freeing yourself from unnatural restrictions. Oh, interesting. So you might want to listen to the last reading if you didn't already. Sometimes we feel trapped by outside circumstances. For instance, we believe that financial or family obligations compel us to accept unsatisfactory job. We're afraid to leave our fixed and unhealthy relationship. Okay. Perhaps we feel that our family or spouse won't let us pursue life-enhancing activities such as a class or a new program. So we may feel controlled also by certain addictions like social media, substances, behaviors. The fairies say that when we're responsible for ourselves, we're more responsible for others. That is, when we are happy, our family, friends, children, and spouse enjoy being around us and are inspired by our strength and confidence. Pray for help in releasing your fears and in assisting you in breaking free. So, asking for higher support, okay? So, your plan is really to be as free as the birds, angels, the fairies, and you have a mantra here, which is, I am free, I am powerful, I now allow myself to enjoy this freedom and power. Now, I did a little research, and affirmations apparently usually make people feel worse rather than better. So rather than have an affirmation, lately what I've been interested in is looking up a kind of self-hypnosis that is about accessing freedom or accessing inner power or accessing moving past restrictive thinking, negative thinking. And this will, to me, yield better, greater results than chanting a few words that don't seem to really stick, you know what I mean? Like if they do, if that works for you, that's amazing. I just haven't really found that that has worked for me. So we're gonna do your tarot. Oh, wow, okay. Okay. So I'm gonna just sit with these for a moment. So your cards. 7 of Fire. 9 of Oceans. 7 of Oceans. Yeah, big. So with sevens, I mean, sevens in these cards are not your ideal. Nines are positive though. What we're seeing is sort of like you feel trapped by, it's sort of like a rock in a hard place, but it's really about being trapped by past, I'm gonna say trauma. I see like a fire, ashes, like something went down. You can even see this tree felling itself. Something went down. You need to stop, please. We don't do that, please. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get through this. I am. I don't know if you can hear the little whines. This is not usually how it goes, so we're hanging on here. Okay, 9 of Oceans. There's so much arising for you. It's so big. Like, there's something coming for you. It's beautiful, it's joyous, it's light. And then you're just like, you keep focusing on this, like, creature of the dark that you think this light is, like, hiding. It's like, you think the light is, like, just like a trap because of your past, because of where you come from. You really don't want to just, like, go in blindly, and it's like you keep imagining that these beautiful gifts arising are just some trick for the universe to punish you. I get this sense of grief, of mourning. So there's something you're not allowing yourself to grieve, some hurt that you're not really releasing yet. And yet the fairy card, the fire fairy, it's sort of like she's made of fire. So like the very stuff that seemed like it would destroy her helped to sort of like ignite her like a phoenix. Like she's taken that shit, turning it into gold. Like she's like an alchemist. She's able to like take, you know, something vulnerable and fragile like these wings and have them sustain smoke and fire. Like that is absolutely miraculous. Okay, if that isn't proof that the universe has your back, I don't know what freaking does. Okay, like you really got to just look at this. Look at yourself. Like stop seeing all that went wrong and all the damage, but just start seeing like how beautiful. Yeah, like oh, I'm like moved for you. This beautiful breaking free, like she is arising. She's like coming out of the darkness. She's stepping into light. Okay, you don't need to question it. She's just like dancing in all her power in the cosmos, and like beauty and light is raining down, and it's like all coming up for her. Okay, you see all these like these beautiful light beings are like arising, like literally you in your light is like calling other light beings to you, and it's calling in that support of the universe. And this fear is just a paper tiger. Okay, so yes, we know that, you know, there's no such thing as, you know, the happily ever after where nothing bad ever happens again. Okay, like newsflash, like Cinderella and Prince Charming, like they have fights about who takes out the garbage or whatever. Okay, like, or which servant, I don't know. Just like you don't have to trick yourself into thinking that the future is gonna be like picture perfect. It's gonna be life. It's gonna bring you unexpected things because this is what helps us grow. And we can't help but grow though. Like we can't help but have come here as beings and grow. Like it's not like we came here to grow. We came here to experience all and to actually get in touch with what is wonderful and like blossoming in us and what is like joyful in this life, because like that growth is going to take us there and that growth is inevitable. And so like what is happening for you is you're finding this is a vortex of light that's like starting to generate more and more light in order to cast out these fearful shadows that still threaten to tell you, oh, it's just going to be like before. No, that was a lesson. You came through the other side with more strength, with more resilience, with more wisdom, with greater clarity, with greater inner fire, with more fearlessness, with more centered, with more gravity, with more groundedness, with greater boundaries, with greater sense of self, with greater identity intact than ever before. And if you don't see that, it's just because you aren't stepping into your light, your inner light. So I don't mean like just showing off to the world. I mean like pulling back those veils inside of you that are hiding this from yourself, because like I think it's very evident. I think it's very the universe sees you this way. Essentially, you are the universe's love child. So please start seeing yourself like that. Please start basking in that light in accordance with that. Okay, so Fire Fairy, yeah, you've got it. You've got it in like beautiful spades, beautiful rising little beings of little majesty. Okay, so yeah, you're going to be having greater sense of community, and this is going to be really nourishing. It's going to be like a placid sea. Okay, like calm waters that are reflecting light and radiance and beauty, and that is what's going to help you start to see this in you. You have to trust that it is already radiating in you though, because this is part of what is generated. This is part of your medicine. Okay, so your inner beauty is your medicine. So start to reflect on and find your worth in this, because this is going to remind you that the good things coming your way you deserve. Okay, the more you know and recognize your worth and start to trust what you see in the mirror as a deserving, loving, worthwhile being, okay, then she's going to start to allow these beautiful things close to her without so much guardedness, okay, without so much restriction. So thank you, Fire Fairy, for your resilience and your gifts and all that you're going to bring a lot of healing, because you're now a more perceptive, emotionally I want to say steeled. It's not like I keep getting a sense that like this has soldered in you something that is unseen. Okay, like you have a realization about what you went through that has wisdom that pertains to many, that others do not have access to. So when you can bring your gifts to others when you are ready, which is just about stepping into your light when you feel, you know, that call, when you feel like, oh, I do have this worthwhile gift, I do feel like I want to share this is scary, it's bigger than me, but I need to do this. I need to surrender to my path. Like, this is kind of how these things arise. It's not like we set out and be like, you know, I'm going to be Stevie Nicks. Like, she just felt called to step into the light. I think of her because I feel like this fairy looks like Stevie Nicks, actually. And I feel like she could be a good sort of like warrior, guardian, mother, teacher for you, a good guide. So, check out her videos. I love watching her, especially in her youth, just her free, wild spirit, and also in her wizened age, as she's like back with like this like siren power, is amazing. So yeah, whatever encouragement you need, try to seek it out in otherwise mentors that are, you know, strong figures that can point the way to how to shine your light and how to bring that out of the darkness, and listen to people's stories who've been through trial and triumph, because um, yeah, many of us have been through horrific things that we never